Descent Podcast.
Hey everyone, just want to give a big shout out to our December sponsor, F1 Delta Time. F1 Delta Time is an officially licensed Formula One blockchain-based game that utilizes the Ethereum blockchain to bring you a full Formula One racing experience, coupled with a revolution in gaming in the form of true digital ownership and a play-to-earn model. F1 Delta Time is all about collecting scarce digital items to fill your garage and leveraging these items to go head-to-head in multiplayer racing. Visit f1deltatime.com to join in various events running throughout December. That's F1deltatime.com.
Okay, Nate and Carolin, welcome back to the Matthew and Rizzle Show.
You. Hello.
Love the energy. So I know most of the people listening already know who you are and know Mintbase, but give them the quick 1 to 2 minute self intros about who both of you are.
Sure, Carl can dish this one out.
Yeah, so we are Carolin and Nate. We are building Mintbase. We are kind of like a Shopify for NFTs where users can deploy their own stores. Each store is their own smart contract, and they can sell NFTs as art, tickets, in-game items. They choose it.
And our main focus is we have no idea what NFTs are yet. We want to build a platform for everyone to figure out and solve what that is. We think that they're going to be massive in the future. I think we got close to figuring out what that was in April last year. We got hit with gas fees, and now we are rewriting everything on Near. So we're getting close to that. What are NFTs question? We're getting close to that as well.
Yeah, and I've got to say, I love that angle. Like, I don't think I've ever heard, like, for all of us who've been like collectively working so hard to like push the NFT space forward, to like straight up say like no one really knows what these things are or like the true potential behind them is a very profound statement, man. I respect that a lot, especially because you guys are just trying to enable people to do more with them. That's cool, man.
Yeah, I mean, we were getting so close. Like, getting the infrastructure is the hard part, and on Ethereum we were so close. Like, all the tools were getting there, and then now it kind of feels like we went back to ground zero again. But yeah, we're rebuilding again, and we will get back to the answer of what can we do with these crazy digital scarcity little items.
Yeah, and then I think there's like a half a year in between when the gas prices exploded from the end of April and COVID kind of like took over the world and wrecked a lot of the offline stuff like ticketing and things like that. But I think it would be cool to talk about what you guys were doing in the interim and all the good news that's come out of it, like your $1 million seed round that you closed. You're getting pretty close on the next iteration of Mintbase with the Near protocol integration and migration. Just fill us in, like what you guys have been cooking up in the interim, because you've been killing it.
Definitely. Yeah, we saw you guys, I think, at NFT NYC when this world was normal and not crazy. I think that was the last conference I went to.
In February.
Yeah. We ended up doing the ticketing for them. We were getting to that point where we were actually redeeming tickets at the front door with greater security than most airline ticket systems. We were actually implementing, like, what more can we do with this besides just become a collectible? Obviously, collectability is amazing, but we're pushing it to do more stuff. And we were getting there. And yeah, definitely getting hit with the gas fees and everything was a different iteration.
Yeah, so what happened is after NFT New York City, we actually built like a NFT ticketing solution for DebCon. That's a conference in Berlin. And obviously like that didn't happen now in September, but we built like a fiat integration. And then when COVID hit, we did lots of virtual events, and also like lots of people use our platform for music NFTs, for art. And then we actually stopped deploying at some point because we didn't see.
Yeah, August was real painful for us because we're a little bit different than a lot of other systems. You can kind of think of us as like, so everyone knows Super Rare. Imagine Mintbase is kind of like a super rare factory where you create your own DApp, you can create your own rules, your own websites, your own all of that sort of stuff. The hard part is deploying that one app used to cost $2, and then during peak gas times, it was almost $300 to deploy a store. So we had to face the reality of, okay, well, to mint 3 tokens, it'd be $50. Obviously, the dream of redeeming these things for T-shirts, if it costs $50 to just mint 3 NFTs, that's not really realistic.
So yeah, we came to the hard realization that we had to look at other solutions, and then we found, we looked at lots of different blockchains. Nate wrote a really long article on different blockchains and why we chose Near. And then basically we have been working on that, and also we closed our seed round. Finally.
Up to this point, we've spent only our own little pennies for about 2.5 years since DevCon 4. So at this point, it's so nice. It's my first paycheck in 3 years, and it's nice to kind of offload that burden a little bit and actually have help building this thing out.
And help from actual investors who are great, who are partners, and we are backed by some awesome people. And that was really also a special moment for us to get funding from people who we like, and who are awesome. Yeah. Sorry,
big intro. A lot of things have changed.
Oh man, that's awesome. I remember when we did this last time, you guys had just done your first round or second, something like that. It was very early iteration round of tickets, and you guys had cleared $8 worth of profit or something. And you mentioned it on the podcast, and to have that be the first round you guys did with us, and then come back here and have scratch and clawed your way to getting $1 million worth of seeding and everything is really a testament to how far and you guys have come and how much you guys have grinded and everything. Was it when you were saying we were so close, we were almost there, what just out of curiosity, what is there to you, or is it basically just gas prices that derailed everything, or what does quote unquote there look like that we're trying to get towards?
Sure. We all have that sweet twinkle starry gut feeling that this is going to be big and not really sure how to put our fingers on it. I think before we could answer that, we had to get the infrastructure. Tools like the Graph protocol allows us to actually build websites that are usable. I don't know if you've ever used a blockchain dApp 2 years ago, but it was impossible. You couldn't go onto the web page without signing into your wallet before you could see anything. Any data was way out of whack. And there were just so many, and wallet onboarding was just ludicrous. So infrastructure, get that sorted first. And that was basically there for Ethereum. And we pretty much got to a point where we could get the onboarding figured out, and we can get the site to actually show in sync data that was correct. And then basically the last thing we couldn't solve, sorry, Lisbon, got a little siren going on, was the gas fees. You can't solve that with infrastructure. Just basically, you can't do things like, I want to check people in at conferences using the chain. I want to see every transaction happen on chain, because this big revolution that we're dealing with here is transparency. When I see centralized applications saying their things are sold out, I'm like, well, how do we know it's sold out? And show it to me on Etherscan that all items and the ownership of all those items are all over the place. And so we were getting close to be able to showing all these transactions on chain. But if you want to do that, then you have to do a transaction every single time on chain. And to do that, it just got way too expensive.
And then, from there, I really wanted to kind of go back and go into the raise that you guys had been grinding out for the longest time. And I feel like a lot of people in the space now, there's been this mini boom in NFTs. A lot of the other projects that have been grinding it out too on their own dime, hustling, doing side gigs to support what they were doing with NFTs. A lot of people started to secure funding, and there's a lot more people coming into the space or still in the space that may just be beginning their journeys and are actively raising or may be pre-raise. And I'm wondering if you could walk people through your shoes on that journey, securing that seed.
Sure. Yeah. There's two different types of entrepreneurs, or three. There's the random, really ridiculously lucky ones that just say, oh, I think I'm raised now. I got my buddy Frank, and Frank knows, Tom, and Tom, introduces them. And then all of a sudden they raise, and 15 days later they close because everyone gets the FOMO, and then that was it. Then there's the other type, the people that grind it out, and then give up. And then there's the third type. That's us. We grinded it out until we're here, I guess. So it was just a giant mission because I don't know. It's a really good question. I am doing the development and the design, and it's really hard to fundraise and develop the community and develop the project all at the same. Also, in a 2-year bear market, that was not the easiest process. Also during COVID, that was also not the easiest process. But what ended up because it's one of those things, I think, in the VC world, a lot of them talk together. If like one group basically says that this isn't the right project, then you're kind of X'd out, I guess. We got into a spot where I think we got X'd out for some reason. So it got to a spot where it was just really hard. I think we pitched to over 100 investors. Okay. We're talking like half your brain goes towards having the conversations and convincing people of the future. And that's no easy task. We can't really explain what we're building. So here's the real hard struggle. I'm not a business person. I don't speak the business talk. You have a lot of VCs who kind of come from this world, especially the blockchain VCs. It was fascinating to see a lot of the blockchain VCs still have the mentality of Web 2.0. They have a lot of conversations like, well, what's the CAC? What's the CAC? What's all the beautiful acronyms that I'm supposed to know? And then it's just you can't explain how important the technology is to a lot of the VCs, because the technology is really the hard part in blockchain. Executing an application that actually works, that you don't have people constantly asking, why is this broken? That's really hard. And conveying why that's hard to a VC is really, really difficult, because in Web 2.0 land, this stuff is easy. Like you don't have to be technically minded to build a Web 2.0 app. If I want to build an Eventbrite tomorrow, I could never have written a line of code and that would have been just fine. But think of like the internet way back in 2001 or 2. Like, who are the successful ones? It was the Mark Zuckerbergs and the Googles, where the engineers were the ones who pioneered it. I think a lot of VCs have a hard time understanding that we're in that same situation where blockchain, you just need heavily technical minded humans to be starting, because we're making decisions every single day and they're very technical decisions. I think that was the hard part for me, was being able to explain that we have a very good product. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. When you're like talking to VCs, I assume like the conversation comes up, or maybe not, because I'm not a VC, so I don't know the lingo necessarily. But I'm just thinking about your angle towards towards the NFT space, and how you're sort of like, giving people the tools to sort of figure out what NFTs are. And when you have to like say to someone like, okay, who's your targeted user base, or who's your like ideal user base, or the people who would benefit the most from using your product, is that easy to quantify, or is it sort of like all over the map, or like who are the people that you're like trying to get using your platform most actively?
That was the other issue with communicating with VCs, is we don't know. And in internet land, where everyone knows how the internet works, you have to have such a focus and such a niche. And hey, we're going to sell razor blades for the $6 market for the really furry people in Guadalajara. That's your conversation. In blockchain land, it's like, we have an app that people are actually using. We don't have a niche. We're kind of casting a wide net, and we're going to figure it out. The VCs don't like that answer. They want the hyper-focused.
Well, not ours, but...
Not ours. Ours is amazing.
Yeah, talking about the folks that are backing you, I guess the round was led by Sino Capital. I mean, talk about what they see in you guys, and what their kind of vision of the future with Mintbase in it looks like.
Yeah, I think CoinDesk, we've had a conversation with those folks. They might have misconstrued that. So no one actually led our round. It just kind of was a coagulation of VCs that came in all at the right time. Sino really helped us and helped mentor me a little bit through the process. And that they're definitely one of the groups, but definitely Woodstock VC. They invested in a few other big groups that we were really interested in.
Yeah, Sustini in Newport, actually, and D1 Ventures, as well as Animoca Brands. So there are lots of groups and lots of synergies as well.
Yeah, we got an introduction to Sustini.
From the graph.
Yeah, intros beget intros. That is definitely really, really key. I'm curious more like the folks that did end up investing. I know they have visions, right, of where they see things going. Obviously, the involvement in Sino Capital is really interesting. I'm wondering, because of that, like, do you guys have any more insight into what's going on in the Chinese market when it comes to NFTs? Do they have designs to kind of utilize you as a platform to springboard into the Chinese market? Animoca Brands is right there as well. So I think that's a pretty interesting potential connection.
Yeah, we're really excited about exploring the Chinese market. There's a lot we don't understand. I've definitely gone into Southeast Asia. I've spent some time in Indonesia and Thailand and in Singapore, and there's a lot to understand. With Sino, we think that they just have their right head on the shoulders with what we're doing and the vision, and we're all going to try and figure it out together.
So do you even try to going back to the same conversations as you guys, as far as like you guys are casting like a wide net, and you're not trying to carve out a tiny niche for yourself, which makes sense, man. I mean, I feel like that's the play for this space right now. I would also guess that makes it almost impossible to project what Mintbase is going to look like, say a year out or like 2 years out, if it's just sort of like this rolling, like we're going to adapt as things come, like type of things. So, I mean, are you in like a similar boat when you're like talking to VCs and then they're like, give us like a 1 year and like a 5 year projection. You're like, I don't know, man. Like we're working it out. I mean, is that where you're at, or do you have some like general framework where you're like trying to get to this point by a certain amount of time?
So we do have a focus. It's just not on one particular market. If you look at like Instagram, they have a focus. It's not on a particular industry, right? It's on all the industries. But their focus is their technology, which only does like 7 or 8 things with Instagram. You can have like a little boomerang effect. You can have face filters. Like they do those really, really well. Our focus is going to be kind of like that, where we enable all of our customers to get really creative with their business models. We're going to have all sorts of fun little features within the NFT, how they get purchased. Do purchases get split among multiple parties who own or minted the NFT? And going from there, you can really kind of translate that to a bunch of different industries. Let's say you're a videographer and 7 people built this video. You can actually add multiple accounts to the video, and as soon as someone purchases it, the funds will get split between all the different creators. That's being built right now. This also works with event ticketing, right? Maybe I want to create an event, and then we want to have stakeholders in the event, and multiple parties can actually get split fees on the purchases. Let's say the designers, the catering, the landlord. So our focus is really behind empowering our customers to get super creative with their business model. And we can do that with 7 or 8 key smart contractified systems.
Yeah. And then I guess like heading forward, the next big step will be that migration to Near. And like Carolin mentioned, Nate, you published a really epic rundown of why you chose Near over some of the other layer 2 solutions and other blockchain alternatives like Matic and stuff like that. But in terms of like the timeline to Near after the migration is completed, I'm wondering if you can kind of talk to that and what's ahead after that.
Yeah, we're making a ton of progress right now. I am really excited. Like at this point, I could have told you right now whether it was a good or a bad idea going to Near. Like we broke ground, I think, in August. Mm-hmm. I've been working at it nonstop. There's good parts of it. There's bad parts of it. Like I said, the infrastructure is not there yet. There's the graph there. I'm having to build that from scratch. But at this point, I'm still extremely happy with our decision. And yeah, you can read the breakdown. It goes into why we didn't go into XDAI or Flow or a lot of the other groups. But we'll see. Time will tell. I'm not promising this is the winning thing. I'm promising that, I think that the world with many, many chains and many bridges is going to be a beautiful world for all of us.
I agree, man. I feel like that's the path forward. And I feel like the spike in gas prices in a weird way was sort of like a blessing in disguise for the space, so that like the entire NFT world's eggs aren't all on one basket or on one blockchain and everything. And that seems to be like the general consensus, man. I mean, we've like interviewed a lot of projects and people and, talked to everybody. And it seems like, everyone fragmenting out and going their own ways and having, many blockchains that can work congruently with each other and have it not matter ultimately that much, like where these things are located, as long as they're set up properly, seems to be like the right path forward for everybody. Dude, always interested, like what do you guys collect like on the side? I mean, I know you guys got the advent calendar going on, and you as in terms of like having a platform that does a lot of things, like what are you guys like personally most interested in, like in terms of NFT projects in the space, or, even if they don't necessarily have anything to do with what you're working on? I mean, you guys, obviously know your stuff.
So what I'm really excited about is like how NFTs, like what kind of role they will play in VR. And Nate and I recently listened to Snow Crash. And this is
thanks to Matthew, actually.
Yeah, thank you, by the way.
You gave me that idea.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that's what we are really excited about. And actually, on the 1st of next year of January.
No names.
Names.
We hired someone who's we won't go into detail, but they're basically full on VR. They love VR. She or it or the being who will be joining our team to write little coding digits into our code base is very into VR.
And that's what I like. He it came by the office the other day, and like we had this Oculus Rift on, and it was really amazing and impressive, like how vivid like things and worlds can become. But in terms of like, I'm excited to explore like what role NFTs will play in those worlds, but also what I collect. I can only speak for myself. Is like I have art pieces, like lots of art, but also wearables and Cryptovoxels. I have tickets as NFTs. That's in my wallet.
I want to see the real live version of Cryptovoxels. I think that's where I would like to head. I want to have blocks of addresses in real spaces to actually trade homes via sending a text, like sending an NFT from one place to the other. That's
cool. That'd be dope. I don't want to gloss over the December Advent Calendar event that you're throwing in Cryptovoxels for the second year in a row, because, well, you guys inspired, like in large part, what we've been doing with the Whip. Like you had that epic December 1 month long in-world event back when Cryptovoxels was like gray and like basic, even more basic than it is today. And I thinking back to it, it's like, Jesus, how did you guys pull that off? But you're back again this year doing it. It really gets everyone in the mood for the holidays, especially this year more than ever with COVID and everything like that. But curious if you can tell us what's in store for the rest of the month when it comes to the December Advent Calendar event in Cryptovoxels, sponsored or created by you guys.
Last year was insane. We did every single day, and it was a lot of work. I didn't think it'd be that much work. But thank goodness this year, I'm still focused on Near and Rust contracts, and thankfully Sparrow, Lenara,
and Chloe and Wanda, from their records, they helped us building the Advent calendar, and it's really exciting. So this year it's kind of similar. So you have to every day, not every day. So there's like a door for every day, but we only open the doors on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And you have to be there, and you can click on links and then solve a riddle. And we have NFTs from Yin Kao from Digital Renaissance. Like he's a prominent art collector in China. Then we have NFTs from Sparrow, from Lipsy, from Animoca brand. So there's really like a wide variety of NFTs from companies, also, and artists. So it's a fun event, and giveaways. Like you don't have to pay to be part of something. You just hop in, you see if you answer the questions correctly, and then it's just all about the community and love around like Christmas, and just it's fun.
Yeah. And then, well, before we wrap everything up, I want to make sure that we touch everything and talk about everything that you guys wanted to talk about. I know you mentioned that new hire that's going to come on board in January. Congrats on that. That's going to be really cool. But
before I forget, we have a current hire too, Thor, who's just killing it. He's on the Rust contracts fully. Very smart dude. He's cranking away. So So
we met him in Berlin. Now he's with us in Lisbon. Really lucky that we met him, and it's us three right now. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and then let folks know like what other positions you'd actively be looking for to hire, part-time, full-time, contract basis, whatever. Get the people on board with what you're doing. I think that's really important. And if there's anything else that you want to shout out or let folks know about, now's your time.
Yeah, the most important thing is we really want someone to dial in our brand. My design skills can only go so far. We've never outsourced a single design or a single line of code, but we finally hit our brick of it's time to hire. And I would really love someone to come and just take ownership of the Mintbase brand. I think the visuals of it right now aren't so bad, but someone to really just kind of say, this is the brand, I'm going to run with this team, and we're going to be part of the core group, and we're going to build something massive. That's kind of what we're looking for is
UX, UI designer.
UX, UI, someone who's potentially wants to move to Lisbon. We just found a pretty epic office here. It's beautiful here. It's December and we can walk around with shirts and shorts on. It's amazing.
But also we are looking for like kind of a marketing person later down the line.
Yeah. Head of sales, someone who knows the CEO of Google, someone who knows the CEO.
That's Frank.
Frank, Gummit, Frank again. Walking me. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's it. Yeah, we're excited.
That's awesome. Well, as always, it's always fun to chat with you guys and see where you're at. I hope everyone listening, if any of those roles fit your skill set and you're interested in working with a really, really solid team who has just grown the community immensely in the space. And I really think that that's something that's invaluable, but also has the technical chops and someone like Nate, and then the business savvy side with Carolin. Yeah, please send your CVs over to Mintbase. That'd be really, really awesome. So again, really excited to see what you guys are going to be able to do heading into 2021. Really excited to be part of the Advent calendar event with Whip, sponsoring it with some Whipsy, some wearables, and then having you on the Whip. We're recording now, so it'll be tomorrow. People listening will be like last week when you're listening to this, but really excited for all that. And I hope you guys just keep on killing it and keep on building.
Yeah, come visit us too, both you guys.
Hell yeah. We will.
Actually just did, man. I just filled out the thing, so put me on the top of the list for winners.
Nice. Oh, free trip to Lisbon. That would have been epic.
Yeah, that would 24th. Be a nice NFT advent.
They're not that cool. Sorry.
Yeah.
Cool. Later, guys.
All right, Joe.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Thanks so much.
Great talking to you.
Hey, everyone. Just want to give a big shout out to our December sponsor, F1 Delta Time. F1 Delta Time is an officially licensed Formula One blockchain-based game that utilizes the Ethereum blockchain to bring you a full Formula One racing experience, coupled with a revolution in gaming in the form of true digital ownership and a play-to-earn model. F1 Delta Time is all about collecting scarce digital items to fill your garage and leveraging these items to go head-to-head in multiplayer racing. Visit f1deltatime.com to join in various events running throughout December. That's F1deltatime.com. Hey everyone, just want to give a big shout out to our December sponsor, F1 Delta Time. F1 Delta Time is an officially licensed Formula One blockchain-based game that utilizes the Ethereum blockchain to bring you a full Formula One racing experience, coupled with a revolution in gaming in the form of true digital ownership and a play-to-earn model. F1 Delta Time is all about collecting scarce digital items to fill your garage and leveraging these items to go head-to-head in multiplayer racing. Visit f1deltatime.com to join in various events running throughout December. That's F1deltatime.com. Hey everyone, just want to give a big shout out to our December sponsor, F1 Delta Time. F1 Delta Time is an officially licensed Formula One blockchain-based game that utilizes the Ethereum blockchain to bring you a full Formula One racing experience, coupled with a revolution in gaming in the form of true digital ownership and a play-to-earn model. F1 Delta Time is all about collecting scarce digital items to fill your garage and leveraging these items to go head-to-head in multiplayer racing. Visit f1deltatime.com to join in various events running throughout December. That's F1deltatime.com.